The all-new 22 Civic, now on sale at Team Honda on Siegen Lane.
Made it to a Thursday.
We have indeed. Welcome to Thursday. You all right?
Thank you. I'm doing good.
I love how we do this like we've never seen each other.
I
haven't seen each other
it's
all
like,
morning.
well,
Hey,
how's life?
It's been a minute. Quite literally a minute.
Yeah, truly.
Only a minute.
Truly.
Like 60 seconds.
But it's good to see you on another platform.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Welcome to WAFB Plus every morning right here, 9:15. Kind of stepping you through some of the top headlines. And over the last few days, the headlines have actually been the forecast of weather. And as you look outside right now and waiting for what's to come.
That didn't mean to jump to it so quick, but people need to know it's coming.
Yep.
And good news here is that we're not seeing as big of a rain chance as we did yesterday. We saw those 80% chances. I think you and Steve were talking about getting caught up in it a little bit, both Tuesday and Wednesday.
Bunch.
Yeah, some areas just turned into pockets of rain and did not end up in a pretty situation.
It was about, gosh, what was it? Maybe, I don't know, 1:30. I mean, I was getting some rain in my little part of the world. About 1:30, it really started coming down, and it was one of those where it just didn't seem like I was going to let up. And sure enough, it just didn't. And all of a sudden, there's it's like a lake out in my backyard. You start to get worried. The PTSD sets in.
Well, yeah.
And then you hit carpool, and like the neighborhoods some of the roads are completely covered over.
Yeah.
I mean, entirely covered over roads. And then you go down one of the main stretches. Mine is like Sherwood Boulevard, and it's completely covered over, and people running through like it's a freaking ski run.
Right.
Rooster tails everywhere, throwing wake into yards and businesses. Slow down, you dummies. Yes, you dummies. Calling you out.
Call
you
them out.
idiots.
Call
Be
them
a good
out.
human being. Don't splash the wake up into places it's not supposed to be. Take your time. Let's just hope it doesn't get that bad today. It doesn't look like it's gonna. Man, it's been a minute.
And I tell you what, these next few days are going to look a lot better as you start seeing those rain percentages go down. And, Matt, do you see?
I do.
Wednesday, 0% chance. Look how great that looks. And we start dipping a little bit back into the 50s.
You know what?
Just barely, but 50s.
What's the movie Adam Sandler when he can skip ahead in a bit? He's at the remote control.
He gets it at the Bed Bath & Beyond store.
Yeah, pretty much. Yes,
it's
exactly.
The Beyond section.
It's the Beyond section.
What is that? Click it?
Is it click?
Click.
Is it click? Anyway, so yeah, can we go ahead and just skip right to Wednesday?
Yes. We want every bit of that because that is what we're looking forward to. That's what we were promised with fall.
All that.
So more of that, and we'll keep an eye on that as we get closer to Tuesday.
So that's the headline that a lot of folks around here are paying attention to because it's been a wet couple of days.
Yeah.
This here has been a headline that a good chunk of the country was paying attention to because of how this started.
What we received overnight is a new mugshot for Linnea Cardwell. She's the mother of the 2-year-old that was actually found dead in Mississippi in a wooded area. And as Matt said, this is a story we've been following since we found out about the 2-year-old going missing on that Friday. And so since that day, a lot has unfolded day by day, but yesterday the most groundbreaking details coming out in a press conference in the Baton Rouge Police Department. The boyfriend of the mother, he was arrested earlier this weekend on charges of, I believe, obstruction of justice
and improper disposal of remains.
Yes. So yesterday we found out the mother was actually arrested, both now charged with second-degree murder.
When you hear that, as a human being, your mind goes to certain places. As a parent, it goes to certain places, and you put yourself in all these shoes, and you try to. And we've all been in and out of this story since the beginning.
Yeah.
But I remember this morning as we were going through it in the early edition, 4:30, it was our lead story there because things had been breaking. And I had trouble just getting through it. I could feel myself starting to break.
Because you're a human.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, parent? I'm like, no, not just a parent. Human being. So there's a lot here. And we're not done with this story. Yeah. The full autopsy report has yet to come out.
Yeah.
That's going to happen. What happens with the charges? But my gosh, it is a difficult story to say the least. But what we're trying to do is make sure you have the knowledge of what's going on, updated right here.
So in the story right now is everything we know so far. Authorities are still trying to figure out exactly who is responsible for her death. And Scotty updated us yesterday saying it could be months before we even know because a special doctor is being called in to do a very specific type of autopsy on a child this young in the way that she was killed. So we may not find out for months what happens, but all we know right now is that her mother and her boyfriend right now arrested on second-degree charges for murder. So obviously interviews are still happening. The investigation is still ongoing. This is still early in the investigation as this all just started unfolding Friday.
Exactly right.
So we'll see what's to come in this awful story.
We will. All that there at the website, the 9 News app, to keep you updated. Okay, with that, something that obviously continues to impact a lot of folks. It is the recovery after Hurricane Ida. We are, what, a month and a day, right?
Yeah, and now we are on day 4 of phase 2 for folks who live in the approved 2 parishes for DSNAP applications. And yesterday, in all of the chaos of the Nevaeh Allen story, you may have missed the update that they're actually extending the deadline for people to register for this. So they have added a couple more days, 3 kind of makeup days, if you want to call them that, for people who were not able to call in. They maybe missed their assigned day, because we've been talking about these all-important makeup days, but some people work on the weekend. So if you missed the makeup days and you have last names that begin with A through L, this is going to be after the initial phases of everything. So I know that's very confusing.
It is, kind of.
It's a lot, but that announcement did come up yesterday. So if you missed the first slot, the first go-around, and you lived in any of the approved parishes, that time is going to come back up for you to call back again.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be phase-less.
Yes.
Right? Has nothing to do with phase 1 or phase 2.
That's a good way to put it.
It's every parish impacted. And then they're going to run it October 11th, 12th, and 13th by last names.
Yes.
Still trying to break up some of those phone calls as best they can. But like you said, some folks may not have been able to get through. They just had trouble. The call volume has been pretty intense. So yes, DSNAP extended.
That's not the only benefit. We're still talking about resources and, of course, the Blue Roof deadline. So Callie was actually live with the Army Corps of Engineers yesterday because the original deadline to get a blue tarp was today. Yesterday, in all the chaos, that deadline was actually extended again to October 15th. So if you're thinking, well, I got to leak a roof, rain's coming down, I wasn't sure about getting one, you now have time for that free installation. This
is a pro-level installation. You know, after a lot of storms, you get neighbors helping neighbors, and you're getting up on the roof yourself, and you're putting the tarps up there that you have. Maybe, look, if you're like me, I got like 3 or 4 tarps just ready to go, depending on situations. And, you know, you donate them out, you give them away, or maybe you need them yourself. But these are different level tarps. I mean, they're made to hang out up there in the sun, really handle the weather for a good while, professionally installed. You have until October 15th. Take advantage of it if you need it.
In this story, we've got the phone number, and the link to apply should be in bold letters.
Where'd it go? Oh, almost.
I promise.
It's here.
It's there. You click here, you call the number to qualify and apply and get that roof installed. When we talk about some of the other needs that are still ongoing, let's talk about food. Where can you get food today? Well, the Baton Rouge Food Bank is set up in 3 different parishes. One of them started earlier this morning, but I believe in East Baton Rouge Parish, there's one actually happening later this lunchtime, maybe around 1 o'clock today on Donmore.
Right, exactly right. Donmore Drive. It is the, I don't think there's a D in it. I think I corrected this. It's Saya Park, 800 block of North Donmore. So think, what is that airline in Florida? That part of the world. It's so it's over by Tom.
I think you're right.
Donmore.
Yeah.
That part of the world. Anyway, that's what's happening in EBR, and the start time 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Yes.
Have one in Ascension beginning at 1 o'clock. Whoop whoop whoop. St. James
in Vacherie.
In Vacherie beginning at noon. So once again, the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank doing everything here, right?
More than 1 month after Ida has
Still
made
going.
landfall.
Still going.
Yeah.
It's just incredible.
Truly.
This is big time important. And I love this story because my family took advantage of it last year.
Yeah.
Loved how this process worked. Was hoping it would be continued regardless of pandemic. Well, we're still in the pandemic, and they're going to do it again.
Describe how it worked for people, because the way you describe it is great, because it actually is a visual description of how it's going to be rolled out. When you talk about rolling down windows, making it easy for people to get inoculated against the flu.
Boom. Okay, so here we come. Flu season, right? Parent, right here, 3 kids. Typically, you take them to the clinic or wherever you're going. You go in, you sit there in the waiting room for a quick minute.
Wait around.
Exactly.
Get out of your
maybe
car.
10 minutes. People making appointments. Exactly. Get park, do all that. Walk in. You go into the doctor's office and you get the 3 shots for the 3 kids, or however many kids you got. I got 3 that I take with me. If you need me to carpool yours in to get a shot, just give me a call. I'll let you know. But yeah, and so it takes a little bit of time, but you just do it because, well, right thing to do. Keep the kids safe and healthy. Pandemic comes along, and we're trying to limit the indoor travel, right? And so how do you do that? I don't know. There's a lot of drive-through kind of things happening. Maybe that'll work. My God, did it. So you roll up to the Baton Rouge Clinic, and there's a little line of cars. They're getting them going real fast. It's roll down the window, put your arm out, flu shot, and move on. It is a NASCAR pit crew.
That's such a
It
good way to
really
describe it. I love that.
It is so fast.
Yeah.
And and everybody who's done this, who I've talked with, hoped the same thing. Man, I hope they continue this. I hope they keep doing this, even when we're like post-pandemic. We're not post-pandemic yet.
Nope.
Obviously, that's still going on, but they're going to do this. But I legitimately hope this is just how we do it from now on. It's so great.
It just makes sense, and they listened. It must have been a huge smashing success. So this Saturday
Yeah.
at the Baton Rouge Clinic Lock there on Perkins in the parking lot, 7 a.m., you line up. They're going to get everyone in your vehicle, as long as they're all 6 and up.
Right.
They're going to get
right
them
there.
vaccinated for the flu. And it's important to note, if you do have someone that's under 6 in the car, they have a special part of the parking lot set aside for pediatric vaccines. So just know, if you have a baby, they have thought of everything.
And the CDC came out and said, look, if you're worried about getting the flu vaccine and the COVID-19 vaccine at the
Yeah.
same time, if you haven't got the COVID-19 vaccine yet, it's like, don't worry about it. That's not going to be a thing. You can be inoculated at the same time for both of these deals. But this, what a great opportunity to
It
continue
makes
to help
sense.
keep people
Yes.
healthy and safe.
Something interesting that one of the doctors, Dr. Calander, said this morning is that because last year we didn't see much of a flu, obviously COVID took center stage. This year, we're not really sure, but they do anticipate it to be a little bit busier of a flu season. And then next year is really when it's expected to be a particularly busy flu season. So
Yeah.
how can we best prepare ourselves? Well, you get the flu shot.
There you go.
Not saying it is 100%. It never is.
No, that's what
but
we talk
it's
about
going
all
to
the
be your
time.
best prevention.
Exactly right. Another tool in the fight, another good tool in the belt to help go ahead and beat
And it's
back the flu.
free.
Oh my gosh, it's free.
Yeah.
How easy is this?
Right.
It's so simple.
Done, done, and done.
Okay, so we're talking about rain, we're talking about weather, we're talking about all that, and that's something we got to pay attention to because there are some things we want to deal with and have fun with this weekend.
Fun?
God forbid.
What is fun?
I have no idea. God forbid.
Well,
right?
it's coming back.
It is.
Yeah.
Live after 5.
Something
Has it been a
people
minute?
love. It's been 2 years.
That's ridiculous, right?
2.
Crazy.
Hard to believe that.
Crazy.
And there's been so many changes with Live After
Yeah.
5. But the Downtown Development District working really hard to make sure this could happen. Hurricane Ida could not keep it away. It delayed it, but
did.
it could not keep it away.
It did, right.
So it is debuting tomorrow at 4:30 with a special dedication ceremony.
So, for those who know anything about Baton Rouge, and certainly downtown Baton Rouge, Davis
Yeah.
Roar was really one of the cogs in the wheel that helped spin downtown Baton Rouge into
Yeah.
what it is now. Better than it was. Much more active, much more lively, much more inviting, much more accessible. And Davis was always that guy. I mean, he was that one like, hey, something's going on downtown. Call Davis.
Yeah.
Not only is he going to know about it, chances are he's got his hands in it because he's helping make it happen. When he passed earlier, it was tough, and for everybody, because he's somebody you know. He's somebody everybody talks to. You at home, I'm sure you've seen him as well.
Yeah.
Downtown, or certainly here on WAFB when we do the stories. And they're going to rename City Plaza in his honor. How fitting.
Roar Plaza, 4:30 tomorrow is when they're going to dedicate it, and then Live After 5 will continue after that to kind of kick off the season for Live After 5.
Yeah.
So that's an exciting day. Like I said, things are starting to come back. We're starting to see events. This is outside, and of course, if you are going to be in tight quarters, maybe around people you're not comfortable with, you can always bring a mask, but it's not required. But it's kicking off a whole series, and if you join us in just a little bit, we're going to talk about the entire lineup of everything to expect for Live After 5. We're talking about some other events happening
That's right.
in our part of the world, so things to look forward
Something
to.
to look for. So let's have a fun conversation on
Yes.
YouTube's. Because I know, look, we all know what the conversations have been recently.
COVID, Hurricane Ida.
Hurricanes, all the-
yeah.
Okay,
Hurricane
so-
season.
Join us on YouTube. Let us know what you're looking forward to as we kind of continue to push through this and
Yeah.
open up a little bit more. Let's have a fun conversation.
Let's
after
do
that. All right, so here we are, WAP Plus. This is where you can find us all the time, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and yes, on YouTube.
That's it. We're talking for Let's Talk Thursday, for Therapy Thursday,
Exactly.
for all of the things Thursday.
All things Thursday.
So stick with us.
Stick around.
We're going to come back in just a few minutes.
Tick, tick, tick.
Yeah, in the meantime, you want to stay dry out there.
Oh, God, yeah. I know.
Ugh.
Another day to get through with this. Y'all stay safe out there. Stay as dry as you can. We'll help you get through it.
Please.
Yes, indeed.